Welcome to Rock and Roleplay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Get your ear holes ready because there's going to be a lot of killer music in this one. We do not have Tarua with us this time, unfortunately. So I will be playing her character, and I'm not even going to really try to do her accent because I don't want to insult her when she watches this later. With us, though, we do have Malfunction, Tag, and Celestia. Say hi, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Hello.
One thing that I did want to mention is that Celestia is actually going to be doing a live stream of her own next month about world building.
Exciting.
Yeah.
My favorite subject.
Seriously, same here. Do you want to just kind of talk a little bit about that, Celestia?
It's going to be throughout the month of June, every Tuesday, about 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to start very general. The first one's just going to be about world building and some cautions. I have done the class before as a local workshop for people here through my writing group, and I never have been able to answer all the questions and talk about everything that people have wanted to hear. So I thought that this would be a good idea, and that way people would have a chance to ask questions and go through it with me. So I've already got the first episode kind of outlined and prepared, and we'll be going on from there.
Awesome. And yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, there's quite a bit going on our Twitch these days. Margot is doing Let's Roleplay in Rift episodes, and she's been uploading them to YouTube afterwards, like we do with this show now. And also, Kit Landria will be coming back with another one of those roleplay workshops of her own, which are more directed at players rather than DMs, and she has lots of great tips in there. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. We've got a lot going on, and it's really, really exciting. This is kind of like a dream come true for me. I've always wanted to have a roleplay community like this, and so. Yeah, and speaking of community, one of our supporters on Patreon is going to get his free guild ad that he gets for his Patreon rank, and it's for his friends in the Sons of Korriban, and here to promote that is none other than Noibit Multi-Tweak.
Yeah, I see here we got us an advert. So, the Sons of Korriban is an organization located in the Empire's sphere of technology. Sith-led various factions and power bases internally battle for control and leadership, while the organization as a whole is committed to retrieving technological marvels in its quest to save the Empire. You know, Ebon Hawk Soiver, Sons of Korriban.engine.com. They got lightsabers and the lightning and the laser guns. You know, if you like that sort of thing, you like the backstabbing, be sure to check them out. It's good stuff.
Thank you, Noibit.
Anytime.
So we're going to jump into the roleplay after our first song here in a second, and I thought I would do a quick recap to catch people up on what has been going on. So, the game takes place in the continent of Northrend after the events of Wrath of the Lich King, for those of you who are familiar with WoW. And we have Noibit and Quintley are currently in a bad situation, fleeing from Nerubians. They found their way into a Nerubian chamber in an undead city where lots of mindless undead were shambling around, and destroyed one of the glowing crystals there. Quintley has a theory that the crystals have something to do with the undead.
You say that like I'm totally way off the mark.
I will say nothing more.
Hey,
I'm revising my plan now.
we got an explosion out of it. That's all that matters.
And meanwhile, Cassie Gresham, played by Taruha, and Trixie Twinsmith, played by Celestia, are dealing with some weirdos that showed up on the coast of Northrend and are talking about all kinds of weird nature worship and honoring the elements, and they say that there's going to be some sort of great apocalypse coming. And the commanding officer of Trixie and Cassie, a Death Knight named Shalani, has just kind of vanished, gone off on her own to try to deal with this. And now Trixie and Cassie are going after her to where they think that she may have gone. One of the people who is coming here to settle, one of those weirdos I mentioned, said that they have a patron deep in some sort of cavern up in northern Dragonblight, and so that's where Trixie and Cassie think that Shalani may have gone.
I think the general consensus is we're all going to die.
Oh,
Covered. Did that.
Yeah, you already did that.
So we are going to listen to the first song. This is by a band called Wizard. Wizzerd, Wizard. And they are actually a local band for me. And I've hung out with them a few times and went to a music festival with them last year. They're really cool guys, super talented, and I think you guys will dig their song, Forest.
Welcome to Roleplay.
You ride on through the Lothalor woodlands, nested between Cassie and the neck of the only horse available from Star's Rest. The trees drip with melting snow, and you're feeling rather warm tucked in at the front of the saddle. Cassie isn't an experienced rider and has some trouble keeping the mount under control. If not for her innate connection to animals, you probably both would have been bucked off by now.
Nobody put points in riding.
You ride in silence, but for the chirping of birds and skittering of squirrels, for half an hour or so before Cassie finally speaks. Why would Shalani just leave us like that? I thought she trusted us.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb, but she did find an old god altar, so she's probably going a little bit crazy.
Crazy? Do you think just seeing an altar could make her go crazy?
Well, and you saw all those people that we were talking to. There wasn't a single sane person in that bunch.
No, there wasn't. But I suppose I just don't know much about these old gods. Could they have corrupted Shalani's mind so quickly?
Well, that or they're just really naive and ignorant. Then again, Shalani might have left because we didn't take her side.
Cassie sighs, seeming a little bit guilty, and says, "Yes, that's possible. I wanted to support her, but I just don't trust the undead after what happened at the Wrathgate."
No, I understand. I don't really want to mess with it either, but maybe she's already gone ahead of us and we'll find her there.
"I hope so," she replies. You ride on in silence for a time, watching the slowly changing landscape. The snow is becoming slushy. It soon becomes very quiet. And Cassie suddenly twitches her head and says, "What was that?"
I don't know, you're the hunter. You should be able to see what's going on.
She kind of pulls the reins and starts to slow the horse down a little bit, and looks around for a minute. And then she says, "Did you hear it?"
No, I didn't hear anything.
She shushes you a little bit, and then she points, and you see, following her finger, a large black warg between the trees, looking at the both of you. Its yellow eyes staring intently.
Oh, great.
Cassie says, "What should we do?"
Throw this horse into high gear and beat it.
Yeah, good idea. She kicks the horse and it starts moving forward at a faster pace. And as you look back when you're riding away, you see that the black warg just keeps watching you and doesn't move from its spot until it vanishes in the trees.
Why didn't he chase us?
I don't know. Maybe he was just curious?
I am basically a walking chicken finger. He should have attacked us.
Yeah, very strange. So you ride on for a while longer, and you're now riding along the edge of a cliff, and to your right, to the east, you can see the Great Dragon Wastes through the trees, and below the cliff where hundreds of skeletons of dragons are scattered across the landscape. And in the distance you can see a tower reaching far up, just standing out on this tundra landscape.
What's that over there? I haven't been east of here.
I don't know. I think I heard some of the night elves saying that there was once a great battle of the dragons here.
Oh, yeah, that would explain that. We shouldn't go over there. We're not going that way, right? We're going north.
Yes, we are going north. I've heard that that's a pretty rough place to be. And you keep riding along for a while when suddenly there's a deep rumbling. And the ground begins to shake, and the horse whinnies and bucks up, and you almost fall off as it does, and the rumbling starts to get louder. And let's see, I'm gonna do a roll here for Cassie to keep you guys on the horse.
That is not a good roll.
So
Oh,
the
man.
horse bucks up, and you go flying off, and she falls partly off the saddle and is kind of hanging on to the side of it. Go ahead and roll your dexterity plus your athletics as the earth is starting to shake harder, and you can see limbs falling from trees, and the whole world just seems to be about to crack apart.
They don't make car seats for gnomes, do they? Huh?
Nice. Those experience points worked out for
Yeah!
you.
Finally put some points in athletics.
Alright, so you hit the ground and you roll with it, and you manage to get yourself up. You've had a lot of practice with, being tossed around as a tiny gnome. So you're starting to get a little bit better at it. And you manage to get yourself up, and you see Cassie hanging on to the side of the saddle as the horse continues to buck and cry out, terrified.
What do we do? What's happening?
Suddenly, there's an enormous crack, and the earth splits in two, much as it did up in Ice Crown back during the war.
Oh, not again.
And you see from it all these trees start falling into the crack, and one of the trees actually swings a large branch down as it's coming and hits Cassie and the horse, and they fall down into the pit with a
Oh, no.
scream.
How many mounts are you going to kill in this?
And you see Cassie go over the edge, and she tries to grab onto a branch, but the tree is going down with her, and they fall down into the crack, and you hear the horse cry out, and Cassie screams as she falls.
Probably should have brought some rope. I guess Trixie's gonna try and stay back from the crack, but maybe see if she can't get some stability and then look down to see if she can actually see anything down in the ravine or if it's just dark.
She, from where you're standing a little bit, kind of a safe distance away from it, you can't see it all. It looks like it's a very large crack, and it kind of goes along the cliff side too, and the cliff is starting to crumble and fall.
Well, crap. This isn't a good position. Trixie is... Let me see what I have.
Check your inventory.
Just hit pause and we're gonna check this. A lot of useful stuff here. Well, I guess she's gonna try and get back from the ravine until things have, and maybe wait for things to settle,
Okay.
hopefully, if she can.
All right, so from your position, a tree right next to you collapses down, coming straight towards you. Roll your dex and athletics to try to get out of the way. Nice.
That extra point in athletics actually did something.
Alright, so you manage to get out of the way before the tree falls and squishes you like a little gnome pancake. And the rumbling keeps going for a little bit, and then it starts to subside and completely stops as suddenly everything is completely still and the dust begins to settle.
As soon as she thinks it's safe, she's gonna edge towards and scream for Cassie to see if she's okay.
Alright, so you scream for Cassie, and you don't hear anything.
Okay, well, I've got a bottle of explosive Shalazar soup, which is a fire potion. I guess she is going to try and drop it, not right where Cassie fell, off to the side, and hope that it maybe illuminates things, and that way she can see how deep it is.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your dex plus athletics, and I think you have a specialty in throwing now.
Haha, I do. So is that an extra D10, or?
Yep, it's one more d10.
Do I roll an extra dice for that specialty, or no?
Yes, it's an extra D10 for the specialty.
Aha!
Oh. 10 again.
Snap.
That's the best point I've ever spent.
Yeah, you definitely needed that. Okay, so you throw the potion down and you manage to angle it like perfectly, so that it hits the side, of the cliff, and it bursts into flame and illuminates the chasm, and, you can see that it just keeps going down. There is no sign whatsoever of Cassie, and it's possibly hundreds of feet down. You don't even know.
Oh no! I'm all alone! I'm gonna be a worm snack. Really should have packed some rope.
The chasm is going straight across the road that you were riding along, but you see it looks like to your left, through the trees, it ends, and you could go around it to get back on the road. Behind you, the trees are so fallen over and in such a jumble, that Tig just wrote in our chat, "So Taruha, this is what happened last session. Floyd said, 'Rock spell, you died.'" Anyway, yeah, so it looks like you could go around the chasm if you wanted to. The forest is just a jumbled mess of broken trees and branches.
Well, I could do that, but I'm still a little gnome all alone. It's not really good. Is there a way for her? Can she see any way that she could climb down?
You could. It would be incredibly difficult and risky. There's lots of points where... go ahead and roll your intelligence plus investigation.
8 dice. Not a single success.
Oh man. So you look down and you can't really see a good place where you could climb down. Again, you could try it, but you're not seeing any like spots that look good to start from.
Well then, I guess her best bet is to go around and keep heading for that cave. Maybe she can find Shalani, and they can come back for Tarua. It's just gonna be a really long walk. Could really use that global warming now.
Damn it, Al Gore. Alright, so, you start making your way around, and meanwhile... Noibit and Quintley, you two are currently fleeing from a large group of Nerubians that are coming your way very aggressively. You're going down a steep slide-like cavern that has lots of moss and mold on it, and it makes your footing very difficult. Both of you roll your dexterity and your athletics to try to stay on your feet.
All right, let's see. What have I got here? Ooh, yes, I got this.
Alright, so Noibit, you manage to keep your footing as you continue running down, holding your long goblin arms out to the side. Quintley, you slip on the slick and you hit your back hard and you go sliding down it, actually passing Noibit. And
now you got the idea.
And you are heading very quickly to the fallen pillar at the beginning of the tunnel, and behind you you can hear as hundreds of legs are skittering towards you, and the Nerubians scream in these terrible noises as they're coming for you.
Okay, so Quintley's pretty much terrified. And does it look like maybe he could use his cane to like latch onto one of the sort of grooves in the tunnel wall that he used to climb up?
Yeah, give it a shot. Go ahead and roll your, let's see, what should we roll for that? Definitely dexterity, and go ahead and you do your dexterity and your weaponry.
Okay.
Alright, so Quintley latches on, and your arm pulls, and you feel your arm start to disjoint a little bit, and some of the skin on your hand rips and pulls off as you cling to your cane, and Noibit is coming down the tunnel towards you, and directly behind him you see 3 or 4 Nerubians coming up the tunnel, and you can hear the skittering of many more behind them.
Okay, so he's going to try to release, but try not to, slide down to the point where he's going to crash into the pillar and die.
Okay. Alright, go ahead and roll your dexterity plus athletics, and Noibit, you do another one as well as you're coming down the tunnel. Alright, nice. So both of you are able to keep in control, and Quintley, you slide down, gently hitting the bottom of the pillar and catching yourself with your hand. Noibit, you're right behind him, and the crack that you created in the top of the pillar is still there for you guys to be able to crawl out of.
We crawl through, and then you blow this place.
I could not agree more. And I gotta say, that is probably the hottest thing you've said all day.
As the Nerubians are coming down towards you, suddenly the earth begins to shake, and the tunnel trembles, and rocks are starting to fall down, and the pillar, a large crack comes up it.
No.
You see one of the Nerubians slip from the earthquake and hit the floor of the tunnel and come sliding down towards you guys.
Okay, I think it is time to get through the crack quickly.
Yeah, Quintley is trying to get through there as fast as he can. Does it look like they can get through before the sliding Nerubian makes it down there?
Yep, you guys are able to scramble up the side of the pillar, and you get to the top of it, and you're down in the square room on the other side. And the earth is continuing to shake.
Okay. What of Noibit?
You're able to get up to.
Excellent. Okay, I am going to give the Nerubians a little bit of a, let's see, a spicy final course, as it were. So, bit of TNT.
All right.
And Quintley is just going to keep running toward the central kind of chamber. His idea is to try to get to that hallway that was sloping upward where he felt some wind.
All right. And I'm going to post a picture of the map of the area that you guys are in.
Okay, cool.
So
yes.
if you look on the left side, you'll see the fallen pillar there. All right, so Noibit, go ahead and roll. What is your roll for explosives again?
Well, okay, so let me consult my here notes. So I got the, I can do dex and athletics for tossing the explosive, and then a stick of TNT has a 12 dice modifier.
All right, go for it.
Yes, I believe I shall with gusto. Exclamation point roll 20d10. Just because.
Wow.
What?
Yes.
There is one thing Noibit is good at, and he is very good at it.
I'm gonna let Mal redo my character sheet.
You need an exclamation point on that. There you go.
Yes.
All right. So, are you chucking the TNT over the pillar, or how are you doing this?
Yeah, I'm going to let it. Yeah, I'm going to give it a little bit of distance. This has got some boom to it, and I'm wanting to get the crowd.
All right. So
And I'm also going to run.
Okay. So you light the stick of dynamite. It makes a satisfying sound. You chuck it over with your weird long arms and turn
It
around and
ain't
start-
weird.
All right.
He was being kind, I think. He was trying to give you a compliment.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right, Quintley, you are back in the main chamber with the monolith-like pillar, and are you going to keep heading into the right room?
No, he's going to head to the south.
Okay, all right. So you are exiting the Nerubian structure and are back on the solid rock ground of the curving tunnel that you two took down here from the necropolis.
Okay.
And Noibit is not far behind you. Noibit, you know that you have a couple of seconds before the dynamite blows.
Okay, buddy, we need to duck and cover.
Quintley looks around for anything that he can get behind.
And then a large explosion shakes the already shaking cavern, and rocks start coming down from the ceiling, and you two can roll your Dex plus Athletics as the blast wave hits your backs. Alright, so you guys are able to actually stay standing and stabilize yourselves on boulders in the side of the tunnel. As the blast wave comes out, you feel the intense heat sizzling at your flesh, and then the ground beneath you crumbles, and you both go falling down about 10 feet. as the entire chamber completely collapses. And you luckily are both of a sound enough mind and were prepared enough for this that you don't take any damage as you fall down, but you now find yourselves in a lower tunnel and can see above you rocks starting to fall from the tunnel above. The tunnel is dark and it just goes to your left and to your right, and there are no distinguishing features.
Quintley wastes no time, but tries to get out of the way of the rest of the falling debris to the right side of the tunnel.
Noibit is cackling like a madman.
All right, so you guys are able to get out of the way. The earth is still shaking and there's still rocks falling down. Do you just keep heading down the tunnel?
I mean, what am I gonna do? Run up the falling rocks?
This isn't Final Fantasy.
Could do like that scene in the Hobbit, you know, jump from falling rock to falling rock. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, please don't talk about that. All right, so you guys head down the tunnel a bit, and the trimmering slows and then stops.
Noibit, I said blow the place, not tear Azeroth in half.
Hey, when I do a job, I does it well, alright?
He's overcompensating.
Hey, we're not getting chased. They're dead. Rocks fell. They all died. Bada bing, bada boom. Hey, what you want?
I would like to get back to the surface, and it seems like we're moving in the other way.
Hey, you go far enough, you'll come out on the other side, right?
Quintley tries to kind of look around in this very low light environment and see if he can find out any details of what's around them, if it looks like a natural cavern or if it looks like more Nerubian tunnels.
All right, go ahead and roll your intelligence plus investigation.
Yes, I just put a point in investigation.
Nice. Somebody had to.
Hey, I have 4 points in investigation.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah, that's what she does.
Right,
all
you
I
are a spy. All right, so looking around, it looks like this was a natural tunnel, but it's been augmented by the Nerubians, probably widened a little bit. You can see this similar claw marks on it. And as you're looking around, you do notice a very, very, very faint purple light coming down the tunnel.
Noibit, stop. You see that?
And
Kinda, now that you mention it.
Quintley points his cane toward where he sees the purple light reflecting off of the rocks.
Yeah, I think I'm making something out.
We've seen that before.
Yeah, we blew it up. You want to do it again? Because I'm down.
That light means something, and I haven't figured it out yet.
Oh yeah, it means that something's glowing.
No, Noibit, could you stop being so simple-minded for one moment?
Hey,
There's something connected to that light. It might be...
Does it look like the light that was coming from the Nerubian gems? Like
Yeah,
they're kind
it's
of
the same
devices?
tone.
Okay.
I think it's something the Nerubians have created. Let's check it out.
all right, I'm down. I got nothing better to do anyway.
So, Quintley tries to move as quietly as he can in that direction of the light.
All right, stealth plus athletics, or stealth plus dexterity.
I will also join in these stealth making rolls.
You guys are rolling pretty good today.
It was bound to happen eventually.
Third time's a charm. All right, so you guys kind of sneak forward and you peek around the corner, and you see there is another Nerubian constructed chamber with the spiderweb geometric designs all across it. And there are two large claws coming down from the ceiling, and they are clutching a purple crystal like the one you saw before. But around it, there are two tall lightning rod looking devices, and all kinds of wires that look really out of place, attached to the lightning rods, and a couple of them are actually running up and wrapping around the two Nerubian-style claws that are holding the crystal. And there seems to be some kind of generator attached to them. Go ahead and roll your wits plus composure. Alright, so Noibit, you immediately recognize that this is Goblin technology. The generator has a smokestack out of the top of it, and it looks like it's not activated right now. There's a platform in between the two rods that looks Nerubian design, but it has all kinds of wires running across it that are attached to the two lightning rods. You actually recognize the lightning rods as devices that are used by goblins for creating very vast amounts of energy and keeping it contained in small areas.
Now, hold up. I know I don't have too much knowledge in the way of these ancient artifacts, as it were, but this is definitely Goblin tech. I've seen it a billion times. All right, let's go take a look at this. This is very out of place. I'm pretty sure I would have heard something about this if there was some sort of crew working in the area.
Right, well, we're not blowing anything up yet.
Why would I blow this up? This looks great.
Okay.
Quintley moves toward the goblin technology warily.
Yes, let's take a look.
Alright, so you guys enter the room. It looks like there's not very much dust around, so it looks like this room has seen frequent use and recently. The purple glowing crystal lights up the whole room, and yeah, you just see all of the technology. Mostly, it's the generator and then small devices attached to the crystal, and then just wires all over the place. You actually see there's a couple of extra batteries next to the generator that a lot of the wires are plugged into.
So what would they use this for, then? Why would they need all this power?
Well, give me just a moment. I'll take a look at it, see what I can figure out.
Okay, let's have you roll your intelligence plus your science.
Science. And I assume this has nothing to do with explosions.
Nope, no specialty point for you. Alright, so you walk up and you start examining the generator and the wires and the lightning rods. And it looks like, from what you can tell, the only thing that the Goblin technology is doing is enhancing whatever it is that this crystal does. The platform that everything is on is like plugged into. It looks like somebody has made some sort of device that is pumping energy into the platform itself. And you don't know anything about Nerubian technology, so you can't really tell what it is that the platform and the crystal are supposed to be. But you do see that it looks like whatever it is, it's being enhanced by the Goblin technology.
All right. So get this. This is some sort of energistic resonator. All right. So it harmonizes with the already latent power of whatever's in this structure here and amplifies it by a pretty considerable magnitude, by my guess. I can't exactly pinpoint what exactly this does, but I got a feeling, just judging by the and he's making sort of a little hand gesture for the claws, judging by that, it looks a little ominous. So I'm going to say it's not good. But the better question is, well, who hired a goblin to come down here? Because I don't think it was one of the spider people.
So what you're saying is, goblins are helping the Nerubians.
A goblin. Yes, this is clearly too clever to be any sort of gnome craft. I mean, look at it.
Beyond the strange device, you can see it looks like there's another tunnel. This one crafted by the Nerubians. And other than that, it's just the strange device.
So, I guess the question is, what should we do with this? Do we want to continue wandering down these tunnels? Do we want to maybe, and I'm just going to throw this idea out for consideration, maybe blow up the ominous looking platform? Just saying, it's on the table.
Now, just a moment. I think, here's my idea. I've been noticing as I was walking around in Northrend, there have been some changes in the climate. And I've also been noticing that every time you blow things up, there's some purple light comes out of the ground. Perhaps the Nerubians are trying to change the climate with this device of theirs. But why would they want to do that?
Maybe they're wanting some sort of, tropical tourism thing going on.
Doesn't make sense.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, bada bing, bada boom.
Do you think perhaps... This is quite far-fetched. I admit I've been reading some pulp fantasy novels here and there, but do you think perhaps they're trying to melt some kind of glacier that something like an old god might be contained in?
Oh, old gods, come on, don't be ridiculous.
Now, you were there when we went in that shrine and we saw that symbol.
Yeah?
Something's going on connected to that type of faith, you know?
Hey, that was like a one-off thing, all right? We blew it up. This is the end of that.
But Nerubians have all of these ruins underground.
Yeah?
And all these devices.
Yeah?
I'll have to keep working on it, but something's going on with that.
And Quintley, he doesn't want to blow up the device just yet. He wants to look around and see what else is in the tunnel beyond.
Now, I have an idea, all right? Just an idea. Maybe I can sort of modify the resonator, right? Sort of hack at it a little, reverse the polarity, and have it siphon power instead of amplify it.
So where would it put the power?
It would probably produce a lot of heat and then explode.
I'd say let's not.
I mean, it'd be a delayed explosion. We'd probably have a good hour. There, 1 second, let me run some numbers. I don't know, it'd take time. It wouldn't be immediate.
I think we've noticed that Nerubian structures are not as sound as they probably could be.
Yeah, not everybody has the glorious goblin intuition for structure and architecture.
Does Quintley see anything in the tunnel beyond?
No, it looks like it goes on for quite a ways, actually.
Okay.
I just think there's bound to be so many more of these.
Could be, yeah, probably. I think the better question at this point is, what goblin came down here and built that, and why? Because if that's the case, that means there's a goblin that's in on it.
But Nerubians were allied, weren't they? They were allied with goblins.
I mean, yeah, why? Why? That's the primary term here, though. Besides, those guys were just trying to stab us.
Alliances can be rekindled.
I don't know. It seems unlikely to me. I'm thinking there's something fishy going on here, and I'm thinking I'm going to start lighting fires until I get some answers.
You both suddenly hear the sound of Nerubian legs coming from the tunnel beyond. It doesn't sound like they're moving quickly, but there's just a...
Okay,
Noibit,
okay.
find
Here
a
we are.
place to hide.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
There's not too many places to hide. You could go back in the tunnel that you came from. The generator's pretty big.
Yeah. Quintley is going to go back toward the tunnel they came from and see if any like rubble is back there.
All right, yeah, there are a couple
Yeah, it
of
seems like-
boulders that fell from the ceiling that you guys can hide behind.
Sounds like as good a place as any.
All right, so go ahead and roll your Dex plus Stealth. All right, so the two of you hide, and you see coming down the tunnel a large Nerubian. And the creature has a necklace on that has a symbol of the old gods upon it. It's a large eye with what looks like lots of little smaller eyes in where the white of it would
Quintley
be.
looks toward... Quintley glances toward Noibit meaningfully.
Okay, so Noibit's going to return a sort of shrug of like, what?
The Nerubian walks up and using its front limbs, it starts to fiddle with the generator. And it's looking around with its 8 eyes and kind of examining the room, checking the technology, following the wires, making sure they're plugged in. And you see it actually crawl up the side of the wall and go up to where the crystal is hanging about 15 feet above. And it fiddles with the tiny little devices that are attached to it. Go ahead.
Quintley is just still watching.
I guess Noibit's going to try to watch and see if he can infer anything about the function of this device by watching what the Nerubian is messing with.
It looks like the Nerubian is just making sure everything is plugged in, essentially. But then it crawls back down the side, and it goes up to the generator, and there is a crank. It cranks it, and then it pulls a cord and rips it back, and as it does, the generator sputters to life, and the chamber fills with the smell of gasoline, and you see the 2 lightning rods start to gently glow. And everything kind of amps up, and you can actually feel the energy coming off of it, and the platform begins to glow as well. And everything is kind of shaking and trembling because Goblin technology is that way. It's not very stable.
Hey.
And the whole the whole room starts to shake, and the Nerubian walks into the center of the dais between the 2 lightning rods, and it reaches out its limbs on either side and touches them to the lightning rods, and as it does, Zoof, the Nerubian vanishes. And the technology rumbles for a bit and then slows down and then stops.
Okay, you gotta admit, that was cool.
How far do you think he could travel with that?
I don't know. What does my intuition tell me?
Your intuition tells you that transporter technology is incredibly rare and incredibly new, so it's not likely that he could go too terribly far.
Okay, so 2 points of consideration. This is some pretty new, kind of cutting-edge tech. I'm kind of surprised it's hiding underground with a bunch of spider people.
Oh
And
yes,
second point,
looks very cutting edge, yes.
yes, it's incredibly cutting edge. This is like gloriously sophisticated technology we're dealing with here.
Lightning
more
rods and generators.
How exactly do these Nerubians, like, did you see that guy? He was messing with all those wires and they only got like the 2 little pincher things. How does that even work? I mean, you got to admit, that is some manual dexterous prowess he's got going on there.
I think something's going on if a Nerubian knows how to use Goblin technology that well.
Yeah, this is some cutting edge stuff. I don't even think I've seen one of these before. But that being said, he probably couldn't have gone too terribly far. Maybe up to the surface.
Well, we could try to find out where he went by activating the device.
And we could end up teleporting into a large gathering of Nerubians, where we are then promptly eviscerated and probably chewed on for a little bit and then digested. Or, you know, put in one of those egg sac things, which would probably be even worse.
I say we check out the tunnel ahead.
I second the notion. Do you think we should turn this off, though?
It looks like it somehow turned itself off after the transport.
Interesting.
So
All right.
Quintley's going to walk forward past the generator and device and move up the tunnel.
Do you follow him, Noibit?
I'm going to go and open the gas can on the Goblin tech and let the fuel in it spill out. Then go.
All right. It spills onto the ground with the lovely smell of gasoline.
Oh, I love the smell of gasoline in the morning.
All right. So as you two head down the Nerubian tunnel deeper into their structure, we will return to poor little Trixie all by herself in the woods. Trixie...
Who is at this point a little ball of snow.
Into the woods.
All right, so Trixie, you go around the crack that swallowed your unfortunate friend. You're not sure if she could even still be alive after going down that far. And you see the road ahead of you going deeper into the forest and towards the north.
Poor Trixie. Cassie was her only friend. I guess she's just gonna keep pressing on and try and look around, very paranoid, knowing that she could be lynched at any minute.
All right, roll your wits plus composure. So as you're walking around and looking about, you see everything is pretty darn torn up from the earthquake. It's the most intense earthquake you've ever seen. And you notice up ahead, it looks like it's slightly off the road, but it looks like there is something hanging from a tree. It looks like there's actually multiple things, small fist-sized objects hanging from a tree.
I guess she's gonna go investigate, but it doesn't sound very good.
All right, so as you get closer, you see that they are the heads of Vrykul, the giant humanoids who live in this land. And it looks like somebody has somehow sucked all of the moisture out of them and left them hanging from this tree.
I think I took a wrong turn. Uh, well, she is going... I guess she's going to look around and see if there's anyone close, but it's pretty obvious some threatening decorating technique. So she's going to see if she can't maybe keep to the other side of the road. But she's going to look around first and see if she spots anybody watching her.
Okay, go ahead and roll your intelligence plus your investigation. Nice. Okay, so as you are kind of looking around, you see footprints in the snow leading away from the road deeper into the woods, and it looks like somebody was carrying a large bundle of sticks and occasionally dropped one. And there is a fallen tree in kind of this area, and you can only see half of it because it's on the side that is touching the ground, but there is some sort of rune or something painted on a tree, and it looks strange and tribal and unrecognizable to you. There's definitely somebody that lives here and is decorating with Vrykul heads.
Well, they may or may not be friendly, but Vrykul aren't nice to Trixie, so she is going to very stealthily, hopefully, sneak closer to where she can find like a camp or wherever the person is living and see if she can't spot who they are, or at least what race they are.
Okay, go ahead and roll your dexterity plus your stealth. Nice. Okay, so you sneak very quietly, trying to kind of put your feet in where the large footprints are. And as you're doing so, you see that these footprints are really long and they have two giant toes, and that's about it. And you continue forward, and you see another rope hanging from a tree, and it has a large hunk of meat on it.
Okay, she is gonna look at the tracks, and she really doesn't have Cassie's intuition and tracking, but she's gonna see if she can't determine the race of the person by the tracks, since it's just the two toes.
Okay.
She has a feeling.
Yeah, you recognize the two-toed footsteps. I mean, in your SI7 training, one of the things they did teach you is about the other races of Azeroth, and you recognize these are the footprints of a troll.
I was afraid you were gonna say that. Well, Trixie is going to note that that hanging piece of meat could definitely be her in the future. Does she have any idea how far she is from the cave where they think Shalani went?
You are probably about halfway there.
Excellent.
A little bit more than halfway, I would say.
I guess she's going to try and get closer to where the troll might be and see if she can at least see if the troll is alone or if the troll is with other people.
Okay. So you keep moving along, and you see against one tree a large cluster of masks and hanging bones. And up ahead, there is some kind of fort built amongst the trees. It looks somewhat like the forts that little gnomes and dwarves used to make in Dun Morog, where you hail from, but not as well designed. It's like just kind of a pile of sticks, and there is a fire pit outside of it. Go ahead and roll your wits plus composure.
You said roll my what?
Wits plus composure. Alright, so as you were looking around at the camp, you suddenly get the feeling like you're being watched. You don't see anybody, but it's very quiet, and occasionally you'll hear a twig snap.
Well, seeing as her stealth training isn't exactly going to help her in this situation, she's going to go for the loud gnome tactic. Hi. I almost died in the earthquake, and I'm just looking for maybe some help. If you're interested, I totally have friends in the Horde, so it's okay. I'm not really super aligned to the Alliance except that
Okay, go ahead and roll your presence plus your persuasion.
Oh, man. Oh, dear.
From the woods, echoing all around, you hear, "Ha ha ha ha! Little Gnome, come to play."
Okay, Trixie's gonna get out 2 potions. One in each hand. She's gonna get out her explosive Shalazar soup and her definitely not poison broth.
Okay.
She's gonna hold them up where they can see and try and be threatening.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
One false move and we're all dead!
Go ahead and roll your presence plus your intimidation.
So if I don't have... if I don't have anything in intimidation...
It's a -1.
So I only have 1 in presence.
Alright, so you could roll a chance die, which if you get a 1, it's a critical failure. If you get a 20, you or if you get a 10, you succeed, and nothing else counts.
I should have divvied up this manipulation more. So I guess I get to roll 1. Excellent.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
Alright, so you don't hear anything for a minute. And then from between the trees emerges a towering blue-skinned troll with long red dreadlocks and 2 enormous axes. He's standing at about 9 feet tall, so he's just enormous for you. and you see he has the symbol of the Horde branded into his flesh, and he's wearing all kinds of bone necklaces, and his face is just covered in piercings and white paint.
Clearly he hasn't met Quintley yet.
He walks up with his axes at his side, and he says, "What's that you got there in your hand, girlie?"
I will tell you exactly what it is. It is you being dead if you try to murder me. I am not here to hurt you or pick a fight or anything. I just really could use some directions.
He scowls at you with beady red eyes, and as he does, his tusks raise up on his face, and his lip kind of sticks out a little bit with its piercings in it, and he stares at you for a moment, and then he says, "Ha! You got some balls on ya, girlie. What you doing in my forest?"
Well, I was traveling and the earthquake sort of ate my friend.
Ate your friend, huh? Got to be careful these days. The elements, they protesting.
Yeah, I keep hearing that. Could you light me, next to the fire, and I'll put down my explosives if we can agree to be friends?
He continues to stare and squint at you and thinks on it for a moment. And then he says...
She's gonna jiggle her potion.
And he says... "I drink potions like that for breakfast, girlie. You don't scare me. My toenail's bigger than you are, but okay. We go sit and I tell you what's going on. But you gotta give Janjaru something for it, yeah?"
Something. Okay. I've got some herbs and some bandages and supplies. Would any of that be helpful?
Yeah, man.
I'm an
I take the
alchemist.
herb. Okay, we go sit down. I got a pipe here. And he pulls out a little wooden pipe from his pocket. And he takes you over to his little stick hut, and he crouches down and motions for you to sit next to him.
She's gonna carefully put away her definitely not poison potion, especially the other one. She's gonna keep kind of handy just in case, but not near the fire because that wouldn't work out so well.
Does she go sit next to him, or is she standing?
Yes, because she's gonna sit a little further away. Maybe she'll sit on her pack.
Okay. So as she sits across from him on her pack, he's sitting there crouched, and through his tattered pants, there's a giant hole in the crotch, and she can very clearly see his big old troll dick.
Wow.
Which also has a piercing on it, and he.
I don't think she was gonna look that long. Jeez.
He waves his hand over the fire pit, and as he does, a little fire bursts to life. And he holds out his hand, and he says, "Give me some of that herb. I put it in this pipe, and we smoke it together."
Well, I don't really know if any of these herbs are good for that. I don't think you want to smoke lich bloom or dead nettle.
No thanks. What else you got?
Talandra's rose?
I don't know what that is, but I'd try it.
Okay, we'll give it a shot. So she's gonna give him one Talandra's rose, and she is gonna opt out of smoking it.
Alright, he takes it and he stuffs it into his pipe. And he looks at her, kind of seeming to look her up and down, and he says, "So, what y'all want to know about the elements?" And we will now take our break, our halfway point break, and we are going to listen to some Ohm, which we've been listening to a little bit, and get ourselves in the mood for some more Nerubian stuff with Quintley and Noibit here after the break. So we will be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are listening to Cremation Ghat 1 and Cremation Ghat 2 by the band Ohm. And... Alright, so, Quintley and Noibit, you guys are heading down the hall of the Nerubian tunnel. Are you being sneaky? Oh, one sec, I can't hear you. I'm gonna leave the call and come back.
How about now?
Alright.
Can you hear
Excellent.
us?
Yes.
Right, so I thought I heard something dripping back there, Noibit. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
And Quintley kind of like sniffs the smell of gasoline that's in the air. Looks at Noibit meaningfully.
Hey, it won't work without fuel.
If it won't work, how you expect us to get out of here?
And we'll figure something out.
Ugh,
Look, I ain't using it, alright? We could end up in anywhere. That's a terrible idea. Even you know that.
we might be trapped down here. We might have no choice. I'm just saying we shouldn't sabotage it just yet.
Well, I also don't want random Nerubians just appearing right in front of me and stabbing me either, so...
We don't know if it works the other way, though.
We don't know how it works in a lot of ways. I'm saying it's better as a removed variable. If it comes to it, surely they got some more gas around here for that thing. That thing goes through power like crazy. If it comes to it, we'll find more gas and get out.
Quintley seems barely satisfied with that answer and tries to stealth up the hallway.
Alright, roll your dex plus stealth.
I'm sneaking too.
Oh, you actually didn't get to roll that 10. That
Oh,
was
sorry. My bad.
Alright, so as you're heading down the tunnel, Quintley, there is a loud pop from your body as your arm that you used to hold yourself with the cane finally pops out of its joint and is
Oh,
just
no.
kind of hanging and swaying to the side, and the pop echoes down the tunnel.
Quintley sighs and freezes and immediately goes to his sewing tools and tries to quietly remove the sleeve of his jacket while listening to see if anything heard the pop.
Okay, both of you roll your wits plus composure. Alright, so both of you hear footsteps coming from the tunnel, and they are not like the clickety-click of the Nerubian's legs. It sounds like boots.
Does it sound like heavy boots or light boots?
Heavy boots.
So Quintley tries to quietly rush back the way they came.
Why are you going that way? There's nowhere to hide in there.
So is Noibit following him, or are you just staying?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess I'm following this guy.
Alright, so you guys are almost back to the room with the transporter device when you hear, "Hey! What you two doing?"
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around and comport
Quintley.
myself with an air of authority and say, "I'm walking here. What you doing?"
Quintley stops and turns as well and tries to see who is speaking to them. Okay.
Alright, so Noibit, go ahead and roll your presence plus persuasion.
We're doomed.
You see You see a goblin with a toolbox and a wrench and some goggles and big heavy boots coming towards you.
That is not a chance die. That is a legitimate one.
Oh, nice. All right. So he is approaching you and he says, "Well, I can see that you're walking. What are you doing with this undead fella?"
Hey, he's my assistant, all right. He's here for the heavy lifting.
Okay, go ahead.
Quintley stifles a gasp.
Oh, I would never. Okay, go ahead and roll your manipulation plus your subterfuge, Mal.
Okay, this one is a chance die.
You put all of your points into athletics.
No, they're all in
Destroying me.
intimidate.
So he's right up next to you guys now, and he says, "Wait a minute, I don't recognize you."
All right, here's the deal, buddy. Unless he wants me to introduce you to the stratosphere in a bunch of tiny little pieces, you're gonna keep quiet and tell me what's going on here, capiche?
All right, manipulation plus intimidation. The goblin looks at you and kind of looks you up and down, sees the soot on your face and all of your explosives with you, and he says, "Look, I just work here, okay? What the heck are you guys doing?"
No, your work here is precisely what we wants to know about. So how about you start spilling, capiche?
Hey, I was just hired by the Mudwater Company to help these weird spider people out. I don't really know exactly what's going on, but I'm making the glowy crystals work better.
Where does that teleporter go?
I think it goes to another one of the chambers, somewhere out to the east.
So Noibit's going to give Quintley a pointed look when he says that.
Quintley is
Okay.
still got a very indignant expression on his
All right, and what's
decomposing
in this
features.
chamber? All right, and what's in this chamber?
I don't know, spider webs. Look, I'm just making the things work in the worlds were, and, you know, I don't want any trouble here. How about yous two just keep on walking, and I just keeps on walking, and we pretend we never ran into each other.
Two more questions. That sounds like a good deal. All right, one. What's the
Nah,
fastest
hey,
door?
one more question.
Deal. Fair.
All right.
What's the fastest way out of here?
Behind me the way I came, go down, take a right, and then follow the chamber until you come out. You just take a right and then take a left.
Take a right and then take a left.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like a deal.
All
You
right.
didn't see anything.
I didn't
capiche?
see anything. You didn't see anything.
Right.
All right. Well, you twos have a nice day.
You too, buddy. You too.
All right. He walks past you into the transporter room.
Okay. So he
Come
indicated
along, assistant.
he indicated that we should go back the way we came, right?
No, the way that you guys were heading,
The way
where
that-
he came from.
Oh, the way that he came. Okay.
Maybe next time leave the talking to me, right?
Hey, I
And
found
Quintley-
out what we needed. All right. If you're gonna poke some holes in the nuance of the whole situation, you can just do whatever. I don't care.
Quintley continues down that corridor
All
with a
right.
frustrated sigh.
So you come to a fork in the corridor. There is another pillar, like the pillar that you saw back in the first room of the other chamber, with a glowing purple crystal clutched in a Nerubian statue's claws, and the tunnel goes to the right and to the left.
Does this one look a little bit more intact than the first one that we saw?
Yeah, it's in perfect shape, actually.
Quintley's going to really close look.
All right, go ahead and roll your intelligence plus your investigation.
He's just okay. First one, intelligence and
Investigation.
okay.
All right, so it's very good architecture, very well crafted. There doesn't seem to be anything too significant about it except for the crystal that is being clutched. You notice that the tips of the Nerubian's finger or its claws are brass, and as you're looking it over on the back, you see a little cord coming out of a hole that was drilled at the base of the statue, and that cord goes down the corridor to the right.
Okay. And does the cord look like it's of Goblin manufacture?
Yes.
Okay. So Quintley follows the cord.
All right. So as you guys go down the corridor, you follow the cord, and it actually goes into an open octagonal room that has another tall statue with a big purple crystal on the top of it. And just like with the transporter room, there's all kinds of cords and devices attached to the crystal and another generator. And
I wonder how much this gig pays.
They seem to have endless devices at their spidery fingertips.
Yeah, I wonder how they're paying for it. You think they got some sort of gold mine down here or something?
It just seems unlikely that the Nerubians are the ones hiring the help. I feel like someone else is involved.
Well, whoever it is, they got good taste in tech. This is cutting edge stuff. Oh my gosh, I'd chop off a digit to get to work with some of this stuff.
That suddenly reminds Quintley of his dangling arm, and he goes to sew his disjointed arm back on.
Quick question, though. So, quick question. If your arm keeps popping off like that, it's going to be, eventually, it's just going to come off entirely, right? Like, how does that work?
No. You see, the Lady Sylvanas has blessed us with the ability to heal ourselves. Very, very slowly, mind you. But we do heal.
Oh, okay. So how does the hell healer thing work? Do you you sit down and you make some sort of chant or something?
Do I look like a doctor to you? I don't know how the healing thing works. How does it work for you?
I mean, you put something hot against the wound, it cauterizes it, bada bing, bada boom.
Right. It's pretty much like that for us too.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So Quintley, you're able to get your arm back into its functioning place. Arthur skitters around on your fingers while you work, seeming to enjoy the attention.
Okay. He plays with Arthur and checks on Murray as well.
Murray is happily chewing on some of your dead flesh in your stomach, and you can feel it. It's something he does fairly often.
Oh, that tickles.
Okay. That is kind of disgusting.
What, you've never had pets?
I had a bunny one time, but it didn't last very long. Let's put it like that.
So who are you to tell me that my precious centipedes are disgusting?
Well, I mean, the centipede in and of
You
itself.
probably blew that bunny to bits, didn't you?
Okay, that is an unfair, although remarkably accurate assessment of the situation.
So it looks like there is a doorway in this chamber to the left, which is probably the left that the goblin was referring to.
Okay.
All right, so this is our way out. So, one last time, delayed blast right here. Yes or no? Because I can do it. It's a thing. I'm good at it. I'll make the wick a little longer than last time.
Oh, quite a bit longer if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what do you think? 10 minutes? Something like that?
That should do it.
All right, 10 minutes.
Okay, go ahead and roll your explosives roll to get it set up.
Okay, so int science specialty explosions.
Yes.
Ooh, not good.
So as you're setting it up, you have a little bit of trouble.
10 seconds? 10 minutes? Oh, no.
Having a little bit of trouble.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's so damp down here. The powder in this one is just like, I don't think it's gonna light. Look at it. It's like practically raining down here.
I'm going to see if Quintley... Check my inventory, see if he has anything that will help.
Look, trust me, the last thing you want is a premature detonation.
Okay, so Quintley hands him his flask of soured alcohol.
Okay.
You got something to light that with?
Yeah. Okay, I see where you're coming from. All right. Maybe we can make this work. What do you say, DM?
Yeah, go ahead and do your intelligence plus science plus explosives again.
Oh, that's much better.
Oh, wow. Okay, so are you like putting the alcohol in with the blast powder?
Yeah, something like
Oh,
that.
no. No.
Oh God.
No?
I thought you were going to put it on the...
I thought you were going to put that on the fuse. Don't you have a fuse on that thing?
Yes, I do have a fuse. It's right here. See, it's the little cloth bit.
Right, well just soak that and light it, and then let's get out of here.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see. 1 second. Let me wrap up the powder in this cloth here. That should help dry it out a bit. All right. And that'll help the fuse. And okay, we should be good.
All right, so you get it all set up and you light it and
Okay, we should stop moving.
Quintley wastes no time and runs toward the tunnel.
Okay, maybe not that fast. Give me some credit here.
He doesn't slow down.
All right, so you guys start heading down the tunnel. Go ahead and roll your wits plus composure. All right, so Quintley, as you're coming through the tunnel, up ahead you can see that the architecture ends, the stonework ends, and it is a natural cave up ahead. And
Okay.
you can see that there is movement coming from there, and also light.
Oh, no. Okay, so he tries to keep toward the walls and stealth forward while observing who is ahead.
All right, dexterity plus stealth. Okay, so is Noibit, are you staying behind or are you coming with him?
Nah, I think I'm going to try to sneak with him, but I'll communicate surreptitiously. Be like, hey, if we chill for a little bit, the explosion will distract these guys. That might help us get out. Okay, stealth plus dex, you say?
Yep. All right, so both of you are able to sneak along the wall very quietly, and you come to the entrance of a much larger cave, and you see there are two Nerubians walking around and carrying large sacks that look like they've wrapped them up in their webs. And they are setting them up against the walls and spitting on the walls and sticking them on using their vile ichor from their mouths.
So that's how they carry stuff. That makes sense.
How big is this room?
It is a pretty large chamber. I would say like 20 feet long, 10 feet wide.
Okay. And is there another exit that we can see?
Yeah, it looks like actually the chamber at the far end opens up quite a bit and rises, and you can see daylight coming down from it.
Okay. Does it look like we could sneak toward that exit, or is it obvious that the chamber is small enough and the placement would give us away?
You could definitely try. It looks like there's lots of rocks and such to hide behind.
Noibit, get out that stick of yours. If they see us, shoot them.
You got it. Oh gosh, this is going to be great.
Okay, go ahead and do another Dex plus Stealth roll as you enter the chamber. Oh, whoops, D20. Alright, I'm rolling for the Nerubians. Let's see if they
Oh
notice.
man, this is nerve-wracking.
Alright, so it looks like the Nerubians do not notice you as they are busy sticking these pods of webs to the wall. You get to the far end of the cave and you can see the opening up in front of you, and you see on the wall one of the webs right next to where you guys are standing. You actually, Quintley, kind of bump into it. There is a human female.
Cassie!
Yep, wrapped up in the webs, and it looks like she's sleeping. You recognize her from Ice Crown.
Quintley motions for Noibit to keep moving, but he approaches that pod with his seam ripper to try to open it up.
You aren't going to eat that, are you? That's kind of gross.
Don't you see what's in there?
Not really, no. What is it?
It's that woman we saw, you know, that really awful, poorly dressed woman that we saw in Northrend.
To be fair, we saw a lot of women, and you said every single one of them was poorly dressed.
Well, do you remember that one that had... Oh, forget it. Just let me do this.
Okay.
Alright, so do another stealth roll as you use your seam ripper and try to get her out of the webs.
Am I included in this stealth roll, or am I
Nope.
already good?
Yep, you're already good. Alright, so as you are ripping at the web, one of the Nerubians turns around and sees you, and it lets out a and it says, "Intruders!"
Well, we got spotted. It's my turn.
All right. What-
Quintley frowns and he pulls out his pocket watch.
Okay, let's see. I will have... What are your initiatives?
Let's see. Where did
Initiative.
5?
4.
All right, okay. So Noibit goes first, and then Quintley.
All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see. Dex, archery, and the 6 dice for the bada boom stick. All right. Hey, look at that.
All right, so that's 1, 2, 3 successes. All right, so the bada boomstick explodes, bursting in a cloud of smoke, and the bullet goes flying through the air and slices through the midsection of one of the Nerubians, making it kind of stumble a little bit. And both of them are still running towards you, though. Go ahead, Quintley.
Okay, does it look like he has opened the pod enough to pull Cassie out and carry her away?
Yes.
Okay, so he's going to activate the pocket watch. I think there are only like 3, probably just a couple seconds left on there. But he's going to do that just to give himself a head start
All right, okay.
Wow. while pulling her out and carrying her.
So you activate the pocket watch, it glows with magical energy, and everything slows down for you and Noibit as you pull her out. And are you just going to run?
Yeah.
All right, so you run and are easily able to get partly up the tunnel, carrying the unconscious human in your arms. And as you get several feet up the tunnel, you feel the magic of the pocket watch fade. Noibit, you get another turn while time is slowed down.
All right. Let's see. I can see daylight, so might as well, close up the area behind me, right? I'm thinking that. What do you think? Okay, so let's run and light a stick of TNT.
All right, go ahead and do your explosives roll.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's stuck to his hand.
All right, so you light the stick of TNT and you toss it behind you, and it lands in some snow and sizzles out.
Oh, no.
The Nerubians
no.
are coming for you, and one of them is almost right up next to you, Noibit, and it spits a glob of green ichor from its mouth coming straight towards you. What is your defense?
Do it.
What's your defense?
3.
3, okay. Alright, the glob lands next to you on the ground and sizzles away at a rock. The other Nerubian is also going to spit at you. This one flies past you, but some of the globs from it come and get on the side of your face and on your chest and start sizzling away at your skin.
No, my one eyebrow.
I mean, it probably is going to help, Noibit. Let's face it.
So, Quintley, are you still running?
If he hears Noibit having trouble, he's going to set Cassie down and turn around.
Okay, alright, so Noibit, you get around, and then Quintley, you'll get to go.
Okay.
All right, let's give the bada boom stick another go.
Alright.
Turret gun. Wow, that is a
Oh,
long string.
no.
Terrible.
A long string of fail.
Oh, I rolled d6s. That's why.
Oh.
That would have been horrible. Okay, that's not really much better, but I'll take it.
All right, so you blast at the Nerubian, and it hits it in its torso again, and you see it stumbles onto the ground and is crawling after you in this like twitching weird way with all of its limbs. Quintley, what do you do?
Quintley is going to throw a dagger at that particular Nerubian.
All right, go ahead and roll your dexterity plus your weaponry plus your dagger bonus.
So that has a 2 mod.
Alright, the dagger goes flying through the air and hits the Nerubian square in the middle of its head, and it lets out a and falls dead.
Noibit, get up here.
I'm working on it, alright?
The other Nerubian gets over to Noibit and slashes at him with its claw. Noibit, you duck out of the way and manage to avoid its deadly pincers.
Glorious goblin physique.
Alright, Noibit, you go.
Alright, I'm just gonna be full on running at this point.
Alright, Quintley.
Also running.
Okay, so you guys are running out. Quintley, you grab
He's gonna pick up Cassie.
and you two can see the daylight and trees up in front of you as you run out into the woods. Meanwhile, Trixie, you are sitting across from this nasty troll, and he asks you what you want to know about the elements. Nasty.
So, what can you tell me about the elements? Why is the world falling apart?
Well, I don't know why exactly, but I do know that the elements, they're afraid. Some of them angry. Something is wrong deep, deep in the earth.
So, you don't actually know what's going on.
Hey, Janjaru ain't none of them scholarly types. He just know what hims feel. But I will tell you this, little Gnome. Something big is coming. Something coming from under the ground and making its way up to the surface, shaking the foundations of Azeroth. And you and me and everyone else, we all gonna pay for whatever it is that's coming.
It's not gonna be more of those spider guys, are there? Because I've already dealt with them in Ice Crown, and I'm really kind of over it.
The spiders, they ain't too bad. They got a nest not too far from here, and they know to leave Janjaru alone. It's much, much worse.
How long have you been out here?
I've been out here since the war ended. And before that, when it was still going on, he motions to the insignia of the Horde branded into his arm. He says, I was a conscript. They took me from my home and made me fight. And now that the war be over, Janjaru sit here and he get to know the elements. What you doing out here, little girlie?
Well, I was here for the war too, but now they've sent me down here to just work on alchemy, and we kind of came up this way to investigate a cave. There's some people, pretty sure they're crazy, that think that there's an old god in the cave.
They might not be as crazy as you think. The old gods. I think they got something to do with all the elements being all pissed off.
And you think have you been to the cave? It's, I don't know if, I think I lost my map, but it's just north.
Don't know. I've been to a few caves, and he suddenly stops. Roll your wits plus composure. Nice. All right, keep going.
I'm never gonna get another 10 after today.
All right.
She's trying so hard not to look at his crotch that she's just like noticing everything else that goes on in the room.
All right, you hear in the distance a loud boom sound.
Oh god.
And then again, Junjaru gets up and he grabs his axes and he says, "Come on, let's go see what it was." And he runs through the woods.
Okay. She's gonna grab her pack and try and run after him. Probably not nearly as quickly.
All right, so eventually she catches up to him and you see a large sinkhole in the ground in a clearing in the forest. And from the sinkhole, an undead and a goblin and the undead is carrying Cassie in his arms, come rushing out towards you.
The guy's Cassie! And is that Noibit?
Stop talking and keep running. Keep running. Keep running.
What the hell did you do?
All right, and that is where we will end today's session.
Finally, reunited.
At last.
And we have a troll.
Yes.
I just kind of imagine that Noibit just grabs Trixie's pack and drags her.
It's a little mouse on his shoulder.
They're about the same size, I think.
They're about
Well,
ballpark.
that was really fun, guys. I think the story is really starting to pick up and get some momentum going.
Yes, now at last I can insult the entire group. I've been waiting so long.
I think the troll is going to keep him busy for at least a day.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. He's going to get asked a lot about what it feels like when he looks in the mirror and all that kind of stuff.
Oh man, I'm so excited. This is great.
Sir, do you even own anything besides pantaloons?
Before we go, I would like to say thank you to our patrons who support the show, who support RPHQ, and make it so that we can be giving you guys all of this awesome roleplay content and stuff for future generations when roleplay becomes more popular, as it is increasingly doing so. So thank you very much to Hedgie, Igmund, Afif, Genghis Girl, Evoba, Dominator046, Benny the Guar, Inaka, Xerox Animus, Art, Wolfsong Carlo, and our newest patron supporter, Cerestia.
Yay!
Oh, hey, that's Cerestia. Hi,
Yes!
Cerestia.
Thank you, Cerestia. I
don't
take
know why
back
it
all
took
the things
me
I
so
said
long.
about pink hair.
That pink hair is fabulous.
Alright guys, we are going to play out with Spirit Caravan, a classic band with their song Fear's Machine. Thank you guys for coming so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.